Taiwan bicycle tour, Huandao. In November 2023, my girlfriend and I embarked on a journey across the island of Taiwan. Over the course of 3 weeks, we pedaled through bustling cities, serene countryside, and everything in between. When people think of Taiwan, they often focus on the tension between China and the US, or its significant role in the semiconductor industry. However, what is less well known is that Taiwan is also a major manufacturer of bicycles. The island is home to renowned brands such as Giant, Merida, and KHS, which have their factories here and produce some of the highest quality bikes available globally. What this meant for us is that it was super cheap to source good quality bikes for this journey. The 1,000-kilometer bicycle journey is taken by many people every year in Taiwan. It even has its own name in Mandarin, known as Huandao. This literally translates to around the island. It's not as eccentric as one might first imagine, seeing as it is part of the Taiwanese vernacular. There are two main ways to approach Huandao. One is with a tour group and a 保姆车, which literally translates to nurse van, and it will follow you and carry your gears and supply. The other, the way we chose, is to carry our own gear and be self-reliant, allowing for a more immersive and independent experience. In this video, I'll share some insights and lessons learned from our journey, as well as our itinerary to help others plan their own adventure. Whether you're considering cycling around Taiwan or simply curious about the experience, I hope this guide provides valuable information and inspiration. If you're interested in a more detailed daily account of our journey, be sure to check out my Taiwan blog series, where I document each day in detail. Links can be found in the description below. Now, let's dive in and uncover the beauty and excitement of cycling around Taiwan. So the first chapter here is going to be the itinerary of our trip in Taiwan. So the great thing about Google Maps is that you can actually turn on your location and save the location history. So as you can see, all these red dots are the places I've been to before. And if we go into 2023 and November, we're going to see Taiwan come into view here. So everything that has a red dot means that we passed by this location and did activities here. So we started off in Taipei, and this is where we rented our bicycle, and then we went in a counterclockwise fashion. So typically when the Taiwanese people, they do this kind of trip, this Huandao trip, they usually do it in like a 1 week or 2 week, and that's basically no time to explore, and they just kind of go. So we took our time with 3 weeks, but even still we found it like a little bit rushed, because some days we wanted to stay longer, especially in Kenting. We wanted to stay way longer than just 2 days, but we just didn't have enough time. So the great thing about going in the counterclockwise fashion is that on the left side here of Taiwan, it's basically pretty flat, so you're gonna have an easy time getting acclimated to cycling the country. And then once you round the tip of Kenting and go back up, this is going to be like where the mountainous region is, and the weather is kind of a little bit more unpredictable, so make sure you pack your rain jacket for such an occasion. And Taiwan is connected by high-speed rail throughout the country. So if at any point you feel like too tired, or like you want to skip a section because you're running out of time, you could simply hop on a train and get to the next location. So that's basically what I did here. In Hualien, I realized I didn't have enough time, and I really wanted to do surfing. And my girlfriend didn't really want to do surfing. So what I did is I took a train to Waiao, and then I did surfing there for 1 day while I waited for her, and she continued the journey from Hualien on bicycle by herself. The other thing to note here is this stretch of road from Hualien to Waiao is also where you're going to pass by Taroko Gorge, which is a huge gorge national park that's worth checking out if you have the time. However, it is worth noting that going through this mountainous path is one of the most dangerous section of the trip. People that do it with the kind of 保姆车 or nurse vans, what they would usually do is have the nurse van follow them behind them so no cars can pass by because their shoulders are very, very tight. So if you're not about that, I suggest you take a train here as well, or if you just run out of time. Okay, so let's get into the day-to-day of how it is to bicycle Taiwan. So in terms of bike rentals, there are 3 companies I know off the top of my head. The most convenient one is Giant. So Giant, for those of you who do not know, is a bicycle brand that is from Taiwan, and they have many shops located throughout the island. So if your bike ever needs a tune-up or service, you can just go to any other Giant store as you are going along your way. So this is our friend Juju, who we met from Hong Kong, that we met up during our trip. This blue bike she's riding is from the Giant store. However, the Giant stores tend to be like pre-booked way ahead in time. So she actually booked her bike like a month before, and when we were looking last minute, there was no bikes available. The second option that I know of is Matthews Bikes. They have a Facebook group page, and their bikes are a little bit older, and the price is about similar. Again, we didn't go with that Matthews Bikes because they didn't have the bicycle in my girlfriend's size. So luckily for us, what we did is we went to another shop called Bike XC or Bike Explorer. I'll have the link here. They only really speak Chinese because they are mainly a tour guide company. So what they will do is they'll rent out the bikes in addition to provide you a nurse van that kind of carry along your gear. So they'll go out with a huge group. So my girlfriend Shiro's friend did that before with them previously and contacted them for us, and luckily they were kind of in the off season, so they have spare bikes. So these 2 gray bikes that we're riding are from Bike XC, and they even kitted them out with panniers as well as a phone holder, which the Giant store rentals do not have. It was quite cheap as well, way cheaper than the Giant store. So we were very happy with our kind of pickup there with Bike XC. They're located in Banqiao in Taipei, and so it's very accessible by train or subway as well. So in terms of accommodations, it's kind of a list of all the usual suspects. Of course, you got your Airbnb, your hostel.com, your booking.com, and then 2 websites which you may have not heard about is Agoda and Klook. So in terms of all these websites, I would say avoid Agoda, because even though on the Agoda website you can see sometimes the same hotel or hostel might be cheaper, some of the hotels, when you actually arrive there, you'll find that they have a sticker that says, hey, we do not work with Agoda. So they actually won't honor the reservation you booked with Agoda. So there's some sort of like shady business Agoda is doing here. So if you're just trying to save a headache, I would say avoid Agoda. But if you want to try to save a buck, maybe you can contact the hotel or hostel ahead of time just to make sure they are actually supposed to be on Agoda when you see the cheaper price. Now Klook.com is kind of interesting. This is a website that's kind of like booking.com combined with a Groupon. So it doesn't just have hotels, it also have excursions, and sometimes they're way cheaper than what you can find on the street. So Klook.com, I also have a referral code for $5 off. So if you're interested, here it is, a referral link. Now, these are all the paying accommodations. And of course, if you speak Chinese, there are also homestays that you can find online through Xiaohongshu, which is a social networking app, as well as like just Chinese websites. But for foreigners, these are the best bets. And if you're trying to save the most amount of money and trying to have an authentic experience, then there's 2 websites I can recommend. One is called Warm Showers, and the other one is Couchsurfing. So in terms of these websites, Couchsurfing is kind of like a pro bono kind of way to travel. You're kind of sending an invite to a host in the country that you're going to. with no expectation of payment. Sometimes they show you around, sometimes it's just an accommodation. It's all dependent on the individual host. And the idea is that when you're back in your home country, you will be hosting other people, not necessarily the people that hosted you. So I've been on couchsurfing for a while, and I've used it extensively throughout my travels. Warm showers is exactly like couchsurfing. However, it is only for bicycle tourists. So typically what I find is like the people on warm shower, they're more receptive and faster to respond because they know like a lot of these things are going to come up last minute. Whereas for couchsurfing, it's a little bit harder to get last minute hosts. So one final thing to note about warm shower and couchsurfing is that warm shower does not require a membership or a paid membership to use it. However, couchsurfing now requires a $20 yearly membership. But if you only stay like with one host, that kind of just pays off for itself. So hopefully that helps you. Good luck. Taiwan is renowned for its diverse and delicious cuisine. So the food is influenced by a rich blend of Chinese, Japanese, indigenous, and Western culinary traditions. In the morning, we typically just get something local. So these are breakfast spots. And while you're out riding, we like to go to 7-Eleven. They have these cha ye dan, which is like eggs marinated in tea leaves, and it's just delicious, cheap, and effective way to fill up on your calories. Be sure to also be on the lookout for these little kind of food stalls along the way. They offer cheap eats at a reasonable price as well. And whenever we pass by a fruit market or vendor, we always fill up on our daily intake. Here we got some cucumbers, and of course filling up water along the way is going to be a challenge. If you're looking for free and nice cold water, go to the McDonald's. They always have free water refill for you on tap. No Taiwan trip will be complete without bubble tea. This is a famous brand called Wushilan. And of course, you can also cool down by getting shaved ice. Here is topped with some taro as well. Just make sure when you're buying bubble tea, ask for less sugar because it's very sweet. Finally, in the evening, of course, the place you have to be is at a night market. In the big cities, they will have multiple night markets to choose from, and it will be happening basically every day of the week. In small cities, it's more like it only happens on weekends. And there's so many choices to choose from here at the night market. Just kind of take a look around, see what you're interested in. Of course, always bring cash. Taiwan is a cash society. Credit cards will not work for even some of the bigger vendors out there, so always have cash on hand. Chapter 4 is dedicated to what to bring on this bicycle trip. Of course, you want to travel as light as possible. We left our big backpacks at the bike rental shop, and while we were getting ready every day in the morning, I really found a new appreciation for double-sided zip ties. Basically, zip ties allow you to attach these panniers to your frame or anything really for that matter, but these reusable ones allow you to reuse them. Of course, in terms of blocking out the shade, you could use sunblock, but I found what's really helpful is just cover myself head to toe with kind of rash guard gear, including the hood, because the sun does get quite sunny in the afternoon. In terms of one thing that I forgot, but I suggest you bring, and that is cycling padded shorts. So trust me, your butts are gonna thank you after a 100-kilometer ride in one day. If you're interested in purchasing these padded shorts for yourself, I'll have Amazon affiliate links down below. You can also click on the picture in the video now. Finally, the last thing I suggest to bring is kind of open-eared headphones for listening to music. I'm actually using sunglasses, which are open-ear, so it allows you to listen to music, take calls, but still be aware of your surroundings at the same time. In terms of open back headphones, there's two that I recommend. So one of them is the cheaper options, the Razer Anzu glasses, which just allows you to listen to music. The other one I didn't bring on the Taiwan trip, but I did on the other trip that I did, which is a motorbike trip across Vietnam, is the Meta smart glasses. So the great thing about these glasses is you're going to be able to take photos and videos as you're riding along, especially like if you're going to see a lot of cool stuff, and like stopping and then taking out the phone and then to actually take a photo or video is gonna like really eat into the travel time. So I really suggest these ones for photos and videos. While I was researching for this video, actually, this kind of PDF might have come in handy when we were planning the trip. This is the tour guide provided by the Tourism Bureau of Taiwan, and it's 60 pages and it has like a very detailed breakdown of all the locations that you could pass through. The itinerary they suggest is 10 days, which of course is like very like hardcore, but of course you can like just use it as a baseline. I'll have the link to this in the description of the video. So in terms of security, we were given a very little dinky kind of like rubber bicycle lock between the two bicycles, which I didn't have any confidence in. But in the end, it turned out Taiwan is like a very safe country, and most of the time we don't even lock our bikes. So you really don't have to worry about security of the bikes unless you're storing them overnight, in which case definitely lock it up. But really no issues just locking the bike to itself if you're just going into the store for something, or if you're just going to a convenience store, we just leave it outside without locking it. Nobody's gonna take your bike. So this is a tip that we didn't do while we were in Taiwan, but right now the Taiwanese Tourism Board is running a contest where you can receive free money. So all you have to do is go to their website, register before you arrive, and this is for anybody who's traveling to Taiwan between 3 and 90 days and are not part of a tourist group. So the contest runs from May of, believe is 2023 to June 30th of 2025. So between that time, you still have the chance to receive free money, basically. So once you've registered, when you land in Taiwan, there's going to be kiosks where you can do a spin and you can win some money. So I think the money is going to be loaded onto a yo-yo card, which is the kind of transit card that they use. You can also use this card to purchase items at some shops, for example, like 7-Eleven or some other convenience stores. So it's very convenient. Our friend actually did this spin and won 300 Canadian dollars. And based on the post from social media, it seems that it's not that unlikely to win stuff from this contest. So you have nothing to lose. Definitely give it a try and comment below to let us know what the outcome was of your spin. You do keep in mind the kiosks, I don't think they're open like on late arrivals. I'm not sure exactly when it actually closes, but when I arrived, I think it was like 11 or 12 a.m., like around midnight. I don't think the kiosks were open. Yeah, so I'll put the links in the description below as well as somewhere here. The final piece of advice I would say is to pack light. We packed 2 panniers full of stuff between each of us, and we also had a kind of like a dry bag on the back of our seats. If I were to do this whole trip all over again, I would say we really only needed 1 pannier between each person. So yeah, pack light because it's gonna weigh you down, and most of the stuff that you're gonna need, you're never far away from civilization, and so there's really no need to pack additional stuff. The really only spare thing you need is probably like 1 or 2 spare inner tubes. Thank you for joining us on our incredible journey around Taiwan. We hope you enjoyed exploring the island's diverse landscapes, culture, and cities through our eyes. Whether you're an experienced cyclist or just looking for a new adventure, Taiwan offers something truly special for everyone. Now, just before the video ends, I do want to say there were a couple of regrets that we had on our trip. One of them is not exploring the surrounding islands, specifically Orchid Island and Green Island and Xiaoliuqiu were on our list, but just time didn't allow for it. The other regret was not spending more time in Kenting. Really, you could like spend a whole week in Kenting and have a lot of things to do. Finally, I wish we left Taipei City earlier, because if you're doing the round trip like we did, you're gonna end up in Taipei anyways. So that way, if you leave within a day and you come back and you have some extra time, you can still explore Taipei. So if you have any questions or need more tips on planning your own Huandao trip, feel free to leave a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. For more of our travel adventures, including our trip to Guatemala, Jamaica, and Vietnam, check out the links in the description. Until next time, keep soaring and happy cycling. Thanks for watching.